All righty. Who wants to go first?
Dania.
Oh my gosh, Theo, you're
That's
funny.
great. That's great.
Dania.
Fantastic.
Okay, all right.
That was nice.
You're
What's
next,
happening?
Theo.
What's been happening, kiddo?
Well, like since the last satsang, really just to sum it up, it's been getting caught up in thoughts and then recognizing that there's a getting caught up in thoughts. Like right before the satsang, there was like, you know, seeing something, like I saw something, and then there were these thoughts about like, oh, I wish I could be XYZ. I wish I was more XYZ, whatever, right? Like some comparison stuff, like from social media.
Yeah.
I got pulled into social media for a second.
Yeah.
And so those thoughts were there. And then there was like, I was taking a shower right before the satsang, and it was like, oh, these are thoughts. These are thoughts, believing in thoughts, that something that I should be different. And that's kind of as far as it went, but there was a little bit of like, oh shit, there it is. Oh wow, look at that. Like, look how real all of that seems.
Seems, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then with those thoughts, with the like, oh, I should be da da da. Then there were like stories about like how I could have, you know, how life could have been better if I had just tried harder in life. I might be more successful, like all of these kinds of thoughts. And then there was sensations like this kind of heaviness, like, oh, right. Like, yeah, just a familiar sensation from these familiar thoughts. And then seeing that they're thoughts believing in a me. And then something kind of like lightened up. And then it was like, oh, satsang, here we are. More thoughts about, oh, satsang starting quick.
But I
Get
mean,
the towel.
you know, like what you just described and what you just witnessed.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazingly powerful?
Yeah.
The mind. Like incredible. Like,
yeah.
You know, it takes consciousness and mind to produce the illusion of duality. Consciousness and thoughts. I could say mind, but consciousness and thoughts, you know, to produce the illusion of duality. Now, where I'm trying to get you, everyone, yeah. Actually, let me elaborate a little bit further on that. So, consciousness and thoughts creates the illusion of duality. When we live in the realm, if I excuse some of the language I'm using, but you know, whilst we're seemingly living in this realm of being conscious of, two things need to happen. One, we need to be conscious, and two, there needs to be thoughts. Yeah. In the absence of thoughts, there's no conscious of, there's just consciousness. Oh. And the irony there is you, Dania. Yeah. You. V.
Perfect.
V, right? And I are conscious. We're conscious. All three of us are conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when we're in a state of being conscious of, we can't notice the consciousness because we're only noticing the of, whatever the of is. Conscious of a laptop, conscious of a person, conscious of thoughts, conscious of a feeling in the body, conscious of a tree, the sun, the moon, the stars, the conscious of. Yeah, when we're in that state of being conscious of, there's the illusion, because we've believed it our whole life that is conscious of, so this that is conscious is me.
Right.
It's me that's conscious of. And it's not me that's conscious of. There's consciousness of the me, which gets produced by thoughts. And it's only thoughts that says it's me that's conscious of thoughts. Is there consciousness of thoughts? Yes. Absolutely there is. So there's like, okay, so let's just for argument's sake say there's two things happening. One, you're conscious, and two, there's thoughts. Yeah. And what I'm trying to get you to investigate is the consciousness part, not the thoughts part. You've looked at that.
Yeah.
You know that thoughts just happen and thoughts create the seeming reality, and it's thoughts that tell a story and so on and so forth. It's just thoughts. You know that bit. That's the thoughts bit. Yeah. Now this bit, this other bit, this primary bit, yeah, that can be without thoughts.
Yeah.
Now the other, flip that, thoughts cannot be without consciousness. Thoughts cannot be without consciousness. Consciousness is quite happy to be without thoughts. Thank you very much. Yeah. Now all I've got to do is convince you that this that's conscious is not the me. Yeah.
Is that kind of like sound can't exist without silence? Is that
Yeah.
kind of the same?
Yeah. What would it be? You need the reference point. And where does sound go? After a sound, whether it's a clapping of a hand or whatever, you hear the sound. Where does it go? What needs to be there for the sound to even happen first? Silence. For it to even happen, there's got to be silence. If it was always just noise, you wouldn't know what noise is without its opposite, silence. Wouldn't know what it was. So this, just this. So there's just this, and I want to point something out, okay? There's just this, yeah, and a mind going bleep, 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 bleep. Yeah. And it's the mind making up the story about just this. It's making up a story about just this. Yeah. And what it's saying about just this is false. Always has been. Always has been. Now, when the idea of this is believed, voila, a me is created. But it's only created as an idea, not an entity. It's not like a thing. It doesn't have mass, doesn't occupy space, doesn't have form, doesn't have a color, no shape. Yeah. And even when you go looking for, like if you go looking for the me yourself, what shape does it have?
Yeah, there's nothing to identify it with other than the thoughts.
That's
Really.
all. Yeah, that's all. That's all. And, you know, like in the absence of thoughts, life remains. In the absence of thoughts, consciousness remains. Life remains. What's the experience then? Just silence and no story. Just silence and no thoughts. Not even the thought, oh, it's silent. Not even that thought. Silence without a thought, just silence. That doesn't seem that difficult to reach, surely.
It's just the thoughts that get in the way. It
That's
feels
all.
like,
Yeah, but
you know,
I know.
it's like the damn thoughts, man.
Yeah, I know, but who cares?
Just like, oh, I know.
Who cares?
Yeah. So just like just right. Like the interest, I know you say the interest in the thoughts kind of just starts to kind of gradually fade.
Yeah,
And so
it's just the same old shit.
right, it is. It really is.
Like
It's like
really.
nothing new.
Not
Really.
not only is it the, you know, I want to clarify something. Not only is it the same old stuff, yeah, in regards to your own life, yeah, whatever it is you're doing for a job and you're in a relationship and you're doing stuff, and it's the same old, slight little variations, right? But it's the same old, right?
Yeah.
Not just that, but of being on this path, being on this path. It's the same old. Just, you
Yeah.
know, it's the same old questions, or, you know, even when the questions are answered and you know, now you know the answer, it's like, yeah,
Right.
I know, but it becomes the same old.
So even the thoughts about this path become,
Story.
yeah.
It creates a me on the path.
Yeah.
This is what we need to be careful of, you know, like we come into non-duality and we start to recognize, oh, I've been living in a story. I've been taking myself to be the story. Oh, that's amazing. That's fascinating. Yes, and I can see I'm not the thinker and I'm not the doer and I don't have free will. I can actually see that. That's amazing. And unbeknownst to ourselves, I mean this literally, unbeknownst to ourselves, we're now building a non-dual story about ourselves. And we don't even know it. And then at some point, somewhere down the track, you know, we're like, now what do I do?
Yeah.
I know all this stuff, been over it 100 times, blah, blah, blah. It still feels like me's here. Now what do I do? Recognize this story. Yeah, it's, you know, like, look, the truth of what's actually happening becomes so profound that you just lose interest in what this is saying. It's just and it can be gradual, but it's just a loss of interest in thoughts, in mind, in ideas. It's just a loss of interest. And the real inquiry, if you like, goes into what the hell's this? Yeah, I could give it a name. I could call it consciousness. I could call it awareness. I could call it aliveness. I could call it beingness. I don't need to do that. You know what I'm talking about when I say, what's this? Yourself, without me labeling it anything. You know, you know, I am in relation to yourself. You can say, I am. You know, we don't have to label it. But this sense of I am, we've assumed it's been a me all our life. Now, if it's not, might be worth having a look at. Might be actually worth attempting to sit with this aliveness, with
Mm-hmm.
this beingness, with this consciousness, just sitting with it.
This is the hard part.
It's that, yeah, it's only the hard part.
Yeah,
because but it's only the hard part because the mind steps in and says, this is the hard part.
Mm.
That's the only reason it's the hard part. And what the mind is saying is actually not true. This is the hard part. That's not true. It's just not true. Like if I ask you now, are you conscious?
Yeah.
See how quickly you answered?
Yeah.
How hard is it? This is the hard part. You were already conscious.
It's happening.
You're already conscious.
Mm.
This isn't the
But
hard
it's not
part.
enough.
Says this.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Stop believing it. It's not telling the truth. It never does. It never, ever, ever tells the truth.
Mm-hmm.
This is the greatest storyteller in the universe.
Mm.
It's incredible what it can seemingly create. You know,
Well, in that, just as you're talking, there's like connecting to what just happened. Like, this is really helpful. Like, so there was like seeing the thoughts, like there was showering happening, and there were these thoughts about this me and da 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 da. And then there was seeing that they were just thoughts, like circling around, believing in the thoughts, like this.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there was this like awareness of the looking and awareness of the like the shower and like the water
better.
and like
That's better.
awareness. Yeah.
That's better.
And then there was this like curiosity of like this looking, like it was like, oh, like here's the looking again. Like here's that familiar looking.
Good. Good. Now, this looking, or you could call it this knowing, yeah, has got zero, I mean, zero to do with thoughts and or the idea of a me. Zero. If we keep it really basic, right? If there's no me, then the me can't see, for Christ's sake. Right. If there's no me, there's not a me that's conscious. If there's no me,
right.
Yeah, once you know what that me is,
right,
really know it. But you've also got to understand that, you know, our whole life, mind has been saying, I am here. This is me. Right. This is me that feels. This is me that sees. This is me that senses. Whatever it is, senses. This is me. It's just mind that's been saying that.
Right.
And then it gets believed. Now, right. there is the experience, Dani. There is the experience of seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling. There is the experience of consciousness and awareness and beingness. There is. Now, if mind your whole life has been saying, I am this, can you see how it seemingly gives birth to the reality of a me that's apparently conscious, aware, and can see, hear, taste, touch, and smell.
Can you say that again? Is there?
I'll try.
There was something going in there, but then something stopped. Yeah.
Okay, so see if I can come up from a different angle. In your direct experience right now, you're conscious. You haven't got a clue what that is. None. You're getting little, when you talk about the looking, yeah, you're getting little sniffs of it right there. Yeah. So if the me is not real, yeah, then it's not the me that's conscious.
Right. Clearly, yeah. Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
But your whole life, the mind has been saying, this experience of being conscious and aware and seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling is me.
Mm-hmm.
Is Dania or is
Mhm.
Terry. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
Mind's been saying that our whole life.
Yeah.
Whole life. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not true. But if it's believed, then the experience of being conscious and aware and here and seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling will be attributed to the me.
Right.
If it's believed. And that's
Mhm.
what happens. It gets believed. Our whole life. And all of a sudden we get thrown into this non-dual thing, and we're challenged to really, really look and see what's actually really taking place. Yeah.
And then there's a belief that there's a me that is coming to satsang, that is engaging in non-dual inquiry, right? And if I just do it right or hard enough or try, then awakening will happen. Like there's a like the non-dual story is like probably the most one of the most frustrating
Yeah. See,
ones.
the thing is, Dania, what you just described,
Mm-hmm.
very common, and it's what I went through too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're hoping to awaken to what we are.
Right.
And that's not what happens. That's why I flip it all the time. What happens is you fully, absolutely awaken to what you're not. Then you're left, then your actual self is revealed. That's how it works. That's how it works. Whilst there's an idea that I'm going to awaken to something, it keeps the me there.
Right.
It just constantly keeps the me there because it's the me that's hoping to awaken to something. You with me?
Right. Yeah,
So,
absolutely. That's a better way to sit the
yeah.
to
So
really
it's
be with
not
it.
about, discovering what you are because it doesn't.
Yeah.
What you are doesn't need discovering, and it doesn't need finding. It doesn't.
That
Totally
makes it
doesn't.
super clear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, it is simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Because what? Good. 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 I got that you're getting that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like it is. It really is. Yeah, it's just that we come into this so complex and we're so complicated because there's so many concepts and there's so many ideas and there's so many beliefs and so that we come into this with
Yeah.
that have to be kind of worn down, chipped away, chipped away, chipped away. Yeah. Until you're right here. Okay. Okay. Where do I go from here? Nowhere. This is what's being sought. And it's only this saying otherwise. And it's conditioned. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's put there.
Yeah.
Conditioned. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like a machine that just won't. It's just like it's
Programmed.
constantly. Yeah.
Just programmed. And it loops and it does all sorts of loops in around. It's just programmed. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting, like seeing my brother has like a child, like a baby, and she's turning 1, but like we're all saying her name all the time, like Aya, Aya. And then she's kind of like, you can see the associations with the name and, right, but she's just like, you know, just like fully engaged, like exploring everything, like just,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep. 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 And me hasn't started there yet.
right.
Me
Yeah.
hasn't started there yet in that
Right.
little 12-month-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yet she's fully conscious, as you can see, right? Fully conscious,
Right.
fully aware. They're just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
fully aware. Yeah. And then something happens. In the age of 18 months, 2 years of age, that same baby, and you can witness it, yeah, start to learn language, and a me starts to develop via language, because thoughts are in language. It's in language.
Right.
Remember? And that's why we can't remember being 12 months of age. Why? Oh, there's no thoughts there yet.
There's no thoughts.
There's no
Yeah.
language there yet. That's why
Yeah.
we can't remember being 12 months of age.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There might be visions that can be recalled at a young age. I'll acknowledge that. Might be a vision that can be recalled at a young age. But even to know what that vision is, language has to come after the vision
Mm-hmm.
to be able to identify what we believe the vision is. I can remember, I don't very often say this or talk about this, but I can literally remember suckling on my mother's tit. I can remember that. The vision of it, like
Right.
even the sensation of it,
Right.
yeah. But not in language,
Right.
not in language. And it took language which came later for me to then be able to say, oh, that's what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Without the language, even the vision is nothing.
Mm.
It's just like nothing. Yeah.
So when Vio was saying, like, you know, when you were just talking now about like the looking, or there was another way you called it, like the consciousness, the knowing, right? And then you were saying like staying with that, and then Vio was like, yeah, that's what's hard. And I really relate to that, Vio.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, okay, so now here we are, right?
But it's only hard for me.
That's a thought, right? Which I noticed in the shower. It was like all of a sudden it was like, you know, there was like this like you know, it was like that me suit or whatever, like somehow became kind of melted away, and there was just like present, there was water, there was sensation, there was just like, here I am.
Yeah.
And then there was another thought that came, like, okay, now what? And like, why haven't we got this yet? And like, we're here now, like, come on, you know. Like, they were just thoughts. That's all it was. They were just more thoughts. That it's really that's all.
That's all. Like, that's all. Thoughts are handy. I'm not saying thoughts are, they can be handy. They're not a bad thing. Yeah.
Right, because there was a thought that was like satsang, you know, and I was like, oh, I have to go to satsang now.
Well,
right? Like,
can be very useful. Very useful. Yeah. That couch you're sitting on was a thought in somebody's mind once, before it got created and designed. Boom. And then, oh, that's, yeah. When you see a bridge that cars drive over, you look at that bridge, that was a thought in somebody's mind once. That just, you know, the thoughts that just happen.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Like these thoughts that like seem to have this like, they seem to be connected to like creating, like that there's something.
Absolutely. There's no creation without them. Nothing happens without them, without thought. Not a thing.
But the thoughts about a me aren't needed for creation. Like the
Then
thoughts
again,
about
then,
us.
then again,
But
they,
maybe,
then again, they,
yeah. Yeah.
like, you know, the 99.9999, whatever the percentage is, right, of people on the planet aren't even going to look at something like this discussion. So they're still going to seemingly be operating from their me, aren't they? Just doing their thing, and life is just happening, and everyone thinks they're a me, and they're out there doing stuff, you know.
And there does seem to be like a need to look and see very often.
Yeah, because it's too easy to get caught up in the old matrix, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
It's too easy. You know, it's
It's like the tape just keeps playing, and then like as the longer the tape plays, the more it kind of like the more that's believed in, and it's just taken to be true. And then when it's interrupted, it's like, it's like seeing the wizard behind the curtain. It's like, oh yeah, there's a wizard,
yeah, that's right. That's right. The primary thing that seems to remain right up until the end, is this idea that I'm getting caught up in the thoughts again.
Right,
I'm
exactly.
good. I'm believing.
Yes.
I'm believing the thoughts again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being affected by. I'm letting these thoughts affect me.
That's right. That's right.
And we don't realize it, right? And in each of those statements that I just made, we're creating a me.
That's right. That's the one.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
catching that.
Mm.
And then having a laugh when you catch it. Because you know the truth. You know better. You do. You do. We just forget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We just forget, Yeah. Oh, but the hard part is,
Yeah.
who's it hard for?
It's believed in.
It's just another idea that comes through. That's all it is. Yeah. Look, why this is difficult is because that is being sought is already fucking well sitting here. Right? But we assume that is already sitting here is Dania. Or me. We want to call it that. Take the spotlight off you there, Dania. Me.
Right.
Everyone's
Yeah.
doing it. Me.
Yeah. Well, the name seems to hold a lot of story. Like,
Yeah, of course. That's the first, as you just pointed out, that's the first word you learn.
Mm-hmm.
Your name, which you just identified from your 12-month-old.
Yeah, niece.
Yeah, the name, your name. Respond to the name. And then other things then get connected to the name. Dani is a good girl. Dani is a bad girl. You've been a bad girl. Whatever, right? And then, and the conditioning grows from there. But it's just all words. It's all just a story, all just labels. Yeah. Sounds that apparently mean certain things. because the sound good is not the same sound as stop, but they're just two sounds. Good, stop. They're just two sounds. It's given meaning to. So, you know, maybe why isn't this that is here presently, why isn't this me? Maybe we look at that. Why isn't it?
Because me can't sit on a couch.
Why not? Let's go there. Why
Right.
not? Why can't it sit on the couch?
Because me can't move, me can't feel, me can't sit, me can't.
Is there sitting on the couch that happens?
Yeah.
What's that got to do with the me?
I guess because me is not the body,
Cool.
right? Me is not the body.
Me must live in the body though, surely. Somewhere. And yeah, sure, it's me that says it's my body, but me's
Right.
here. I mean, me's still here. How can you say I'm not here?
It's like me is like a dialogue that says that it's here. It's like it's like a,
But what of this feeling that I'm here?
because
Sounds a bit
because
crazy to me to say there's no me here. Then, like I feel I'm here.
a thought can't feel. If me is a thought, like, well, if me is just a bunch of thoughts, thoughts can't feel. Like a
Okay.
thought is not an entity. It's
Then
not,
what's doing the feeling?
ooh. Whatever this is, there's just feeling. Okay.
If I could shake
Yeah.
it, right? If I could shake it.
Okay. Is that the right answer?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really simple. It's really, really simple.
Because there's thoughts that come up that want to like make sense of like, well, like, what is this? And like, well, is this connected to that? And over there, like, well, what is like wanting to understand what this is
Hmm.
and what that is and what and who, like, is this the same as, that bubble?
Are
Yeah.
you that wants to be understood by thoughts?
Oh,
Oh,
I don't
good.
know.
Yeah, it's just okay.
Okay. Are you that wants to be understood by thoughts? No. Because that's just a thought. There's a thought that says, I want to understand. And there's another thought that asks a question.
And then there's just this.
Yeah.
Now,
It's,
just this. What's that? Don't be frightened of language now. Don't be frightened of it. Use whatever you want.
well, like, there's breathing,
Yeah.
there's feeling,
Yeah.
there's like hearing,
Yep.
There's like seeing, and there's like recognition.
Good. Now look at me for a second. Tell me with a straight face, that's not you experiencing all of that.
It is.
Good. You're here. You're here. Yeah. You're here.
So this aliveness, there's a little like, then there's a thought about separateness.
What's that got to do with the direct experience of just here-ness right now?
Right. They're not,
Good.
yeah, exactly.
Good.
Right.
So it's just bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the direct experience, you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Little smile on your face. You can see, you can hear, you're alive, you are conscious, and you are aware. Now, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? What's missing?
If I can speak candidly, it's like this without the thought, this without the me thoughts. I like this right here. Like,
That would be like saying, and I don't know if you'll grasp this, but try.
yeah.
That would be like saying, that's like the seeing, not wanting to see trees. I'm all right with everything else, but I just don't want to see trees.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Who gives a shit?
That's right.
Good.
Yeah.
You see that? Yeah. It's simple. This is simple. Yeah.
Right. So like that doesn't need to be excluded or like.
Tanya, what we're looking for is this.
Right.
Yeah. Now, you just need to know absolutely that this is not what this has been saying it is.
Mm-hmm.
That
So this can still,
that that's being sought is this. Yeah. And even when this is fully cognized, yeah, it should be happening right now, by the way, but anyway, and this fully cognized, yeah, you're still going to respond to Dania. You're still going to have a job. You're still going to go to work. You're still going to respond to your clients. You're still going to be married, in a relationship. You're still going to be a daughter. Do you understand?
right. All that continues to happen.
Of course.
Yeah.
The difference is the seeking stops.
Mm-hmm.
The seeking stops.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a fulfillment to that. It's like it's over. It's over. Okay. Now you just find yourself in this world. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am. Yeah. And you just make the most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, it all turns upside down on its head, Dania, because for the first 99% of what I say to you, yeah, in the final analysis, when that final 1% ticks over and you go, oh, yeah, everything that I've been saying to you has not been true. Cop that.
because it was like words. That not true.
I've constantly said you're not the doer. I've constantly said you're not the thinker.
Right.
That's not true, actually.
Right.
But
You
who I've
are.
been saying that to is the imaginary self.
Right. The me. Right.
Correct. Because the me can't think, it can't see, it's not conscious, it's not aware, has no free will, it's not the doer, can't do or, yeah. It's
The
that.
me is never.
Right. So that's why I keep saying that, because we need to come to see that you're not that. Because that can't see. It can't hear. It can't. When you fully know, cognize what you're not, and then all of a sudden you boom, and you hear, the whole thing flips.
Mhm.
However, I will never define what the you is when I say you.
Mhm.
I'm not saying you has a shape, you has a location. I'm not saying you has a form. I'm not saying any of that. But I'm prepared to say you.
Right.
You.
So the
Consciousness,
character.
you, awareness, you, being,
Right.
you,
Right.
aliveness, you,
Right.
that's it.
Right.
You.
Mhm.
You know, another way of perhaps looking at this is, you know, for your me to come into
Mhm.
being and
Mhm.
seemingly exist for as long as it has, yeah,
Mhm.
for that to occur, you have to forget that you're the you and make up a me
Right.
to have the experience of a me.
Right. There's that belief that it's been me all along, but I know that the me was never here.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now,
It's just an association to a belief. It's a really deep association to a
yes,
belief.
yeah. Now, if there's only one, which is what non-duality is about, then, sorry, honey, you are the thinker. You are the doer. You do have
Right.
free will.
Right.
Just understand, I'm not talking to the me when I say that.
Right. Right.
It could be, it could be just as easy for me to say, I'm actually talking to myself when I say that.
See,
Because there's no
that's where there's a
difference.
right. Yeah. See, that part is still not seen. That still feels like a concept.
Yeah, that's
It
okay.
does.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
There is a moment when there's just beingness, like when like just okay, what's happening right now? There's talking, there's seeing, like when the me thoughts kind of, get seen through, there's a sense of like a presence, a sense of connecting with here, a sense of connectedness. But when I look at the screen and I see Vio and I see you, there's a concept that's still here of separateness.
Yeah, but
That's still there.
yeah, but
Yeah.
what's a concept? Why are you
The
giving
thought.
reality to a concept? You've identified it as a concept.
Right.
What are you doing giving reality to a concept? You're right, it's a concept. Stop giving reality to a concept. Don't worry about, me saying I'm speaking to myself and listen.
See, that's the part where there's like there's like a confusion and there's like, oh, I'm still not getting it. Like, see, I'm not connecting to everything as being one. There's like all these thoughts that just like
I understand.
rapid fire, which are just thoughts. Again, they're just
They are. But look,
fucking drives me crazy.
it's okay. Look, see, it's difficult. Anything I say from this point on is going to sound like I'm giving a me instructions.
Right.
And I can't really do that. Right? But see, all I could say, let me try and put it this way, because you kind of went, oh yeah, but see, I don't get that. And because I don't get that,
Exactly. Yeah.
okay, yeah. So all I can say is more is revealed.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. But that is revealed is a non-dual understanding. It's not dualistic that's revealed. Yeah. Like all is one.
Right.
That's not dualistic. That's non-dual. All is one.
Right.
And if all is one, thou art that. And if all is one, thou art that.
Mm-hmm.
And if all is one, thou art that to Veronica as well. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
It's just an idea that there's me here and you there and her there you there and me here and me and her and you and her and me. There's this. Yeah. But like I was saying earlier, you know, the thoughts can't exist without consciousness. There are no thoughts in the absence of consciousness. But consciousness can absolutely exist in the absence of thoughts as a direct experience, not as an idea, not as a narration. Oh, yes, I am conscious. No,
Right.
without that.
Right. Right. So the narration, yeah, because the narration is always there. It seems to always be there. And it's constantly trying to overlay every moment. Like, but there's also a part that feels useful because there's a thought that's like, wait a second, these are just thoughts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there can be a confusion about, like you said, with the tree, it's like trying to figure out which thoughts are okay and which thoughts are not okay. And like, so, but it's like, it's just, you know, it's just a tree. Like,
my answer to that would be have more interest in just this.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Versus, yeah.
Honestly. Yeah. Now, you know, the mind might struggle a little bit with just this.
It totally does. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it can't experience it.
Right.
It can't get the significance of just this. It can't experience it. And it'll say, surely this isn't it. I want more. No, this can't be it. That's exactly what it will say. That is exactly what it will say, because it can't experience this.
Right.
It can't. Now, you conscious?
Yeah.
You're experiencing it.
Yeah.
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 And that you that I'm referring to is not the me. And I'm not saying what the you is, but you can't deny I am. Not what you are or who you are or where you are. I'm not talking about any of that. You cannot deny the fact that I am. In other words, you can say that I am. You can't deny it. For you to deny it, you'd have to be there to deny it. So you can't deny it. Do you understand? Yeah, we've just been taking this to be the me our whole life.
So when Vio is talking about, like, yeah, that's the hard part.
Say that again. No.
When Vio is talking about, like, yeah, that's the hard part.
Yeah.
You know, I really connect to that because say I'm sitting on the, you know, I'm sitting in a beautiful, like I'm looking out of the lake and I'm like, oh, like, right, like seeing, being, and then a thought will come up you know, just a familiar thought. Like just usually it's like something, you know, I don't like, oh, this sad thought, or like, oh, life is that, or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like just right now, like the thought of like, this is so easy, why can't you get it? You know? Okay, so they're just seeing like, okay, that's a thought there coming back to beingness. So it's like, I guess the question is like, just direct attention back to beingness.
Good.
And don't even get pulled into the thought, because that attention, that beingness is going to the thought then.
Good. Listen.
Versus.
Good. Listen. The thought, this is where it gets hard, or this is why it's hard.
Yeah.
That thought has no more value than, oh, this is great. It's chocolate ice cream. There's no more value. None. But there's another thought giving the thought, this is hard, value. It's not you giving it value. It's not a me giving it value.
Right. Right. It's a thought giving it value. It's not me.
Yeah. There's no me. There's a you. Not many teachers will say that, but I just go, look, fuck you. Who you talking to anyway? And like, come on,
totally.
you know,
It's
Jesus.
something new.
Yeah. If teachers start defining what the you is, that's when I go, you can't do that. It's not possible. Yeah.
So it's just a thought giving it value. It's like, again, there's a misunderstanding.
That's all.
It's not the you, it's not the me.
Correct.
It's just another thought giving it value that's just happening. It's not, don't personalize that as like, I'm doing that.
Good. Yep.
Okay.
That's it. That's simple. Yeah, it's that simple.
Because that's where the trip happens. That's where it's like that person like taking responsibility for, this is hard, right? And then there's taking responsibility for something else that should be happening in a different way. And then right away, there's this identification again. And it's like so solid. And
That's good. That's good. Look, just keep catching that, Dania.
Right.
Just keep catching that. You're dead right. 100% on it. You've got to keep catching that. Yeah.
Right.
Because we keep falling into, somehow it's me that's got something to do with this.
Right.
The me I'm talking about, right? Somehow it's got something to do with this. You know, in the case of amnesia, the me disappears. And that me could have been an alcoholic. That me could have been a priest. That me could have been a president. That me could have been a street cleaner. That me could have been whatever. And the person experiences amnesia, and all of any of those stories, whether they're a president of the United States or a street cleaner or whatever, gone. Person has no clue. Talking about amnesia, they have no clue who they are. None, no clue. No clue. Could you say their me is absent? Yeah, absolutely, you could say their me is absent. Don't even know their name. Don't know their parents, don't know. They don't know, it's all gone.
But yet they still know how to go to the bathroom, or they still know how to feed themselves.
That's the important part. There's two sides to that analogy. Yes, there's still an intelligence there.
How to walk, how to, like
Correct.
that's still there.
Yeah, what a laptop is, what a door is, what a table is. Just personal self is gone. Everything else remains. The intelligence remains. You know, and some people have stayed that way. They've never been able to remember their past again, and they've literally had to build a new life, start from scratch, build a new me. Lucky them. Really, you know, half the population on the planet would fucking love to have a shot at that, you know. Yeah, give me another shot. Like,
Well, it's funny because part of my, like, this label that I have, ADHD, right? It's like there are moments where, like, I just like there's just I don't know if it's the same, but it's like I'll forget what I was thinking about. Like they'll just be like forgetting, and it's just like spacing out, like just like getting wrapped up, like just looking at something, like just kind of, and then it's like, and maybe right before then there was a thought worrying about, and then it's like, oh, I forgot what that was, and it's just like, oh, this is great. This is
yeah.
nice. Like,
I can remember having experiences like that myself, Danny, where I'd be sitting here worried sick about something, yeah, that I thought was really important, like really, really, really important. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, and I can't tell you what happened or why it happened, but all of a sudden it's just gone. And I cannot for the life of me remember what it was I was thinking about, or what it was I was worried about, or what it was I was panicking about. And for a moment, I experienced peace.
yeah.
Actual peace, like peace, only for a moment. I'm not going to quantify how long a moment is, but and then what came up was, oh no, that was important. That was important. I've got to remember what that was. That was important. That was important. And the more I get riled up in that, and then boom, and then I remember again. I go, oh fuck, that's right. God.
Right.
Oh, like I could have done with a break. I could have done with, hey, let's not think about it for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Happened to me on more than one occasion. That, you know, totally forgot. Gone.
Just like the power of thoughts, though, like in that,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah. Yes. I keep trying to demonstrate how powerful thoughts are. Without thoughts and consciousness, there's no experience of being conscious of. With just pure consciousness and no thoughts, there's just conscious of conscious, if you like. There is only consciousness. There's no conscious of until mind engages along with consciousness. Then there's the seeming experience of being conscious of. Conscious of what? Conscious of a mirror, conscious of a table, conscious of a laptop, conscious of you, conscious of this body, conscious of. Yeah? But I need this to identify all of those things I just named. All of them. All labels, right? All labels. Yeah. Without that, the dualistic process can't happen. It's this that creates the seeming duality, along with the fact that we are conscious. Yeah. And what I'm constantly pointing back to all the time is, instead of being in the realm, if you like, of just constantly being conscious of, because the course of the day,
right.
the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, how many different things throughout the course of the day are you conscious of? How many?
A lot. Yeah.
Oh, hell of a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. If you want to start including thoughts and feelings and energies in the body, and then the people that you bump into throughout the course of the day, and all your thoughts about work and life, and like a hell of a lot being conscious of. Yeah. And what I'm trying to get you is to just be conscious of conscious. or aware of consciousness only. So it still sounds dualistic because I'm asking you to be aware, one, of being conscious. Two, the instruction still sounds dualistic, but there's a big difference between being conscious of a myriad of things throughout the course of the day and just being aware of consciousness only. Now I'm just trying to get you to focus on being aware of consciousness only. One, but it sounds like two. Yeah, that's why it's a pointer.
yeah.
That's why it's a pointer. Yeah, but coming back to just consciousness. Yeah, an interesting thing happens even with the instruction that I've given you, which is be aware of being conscious. Yeah, by sitting there, an interesting thing happens. You discover there's no such thing as awareness. There is only consciousness. Or if you like, you could say there's no such thing as consciousness. There is only awareness. But there is only one. Yeah. So the instruction, be aware of being conscious by sitting as consciousness itself. Yeah. The seeming instruction, that idea of being aware of being conscious, merges into one. One.
So like that attention just becomes that. Yeah.
Yeah. The instruction sounds dualistic. I'll grant that. But at least now we've got you focusing on just one thing, not a million things, not all thoughts. And it just seems naturally so that the more interest we have in just this one thing, consciousness, or interest we have in just that, the less this.
What does it mean to be aware of your consciousness? What does it mean?
Okay, I'd have to take you through a process to get you to understand what I actually mean by that. Yeah?
It's about attention.
It's not about being. You hear some teachers say, "Be aware of being aware."
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
This is quite different. Yeah. But even having said that, what I'm saying is still a pointer. It's still a concept. What I'm saying, even just that's why I said it's still two. To be aware of being conscious, it still sounds like two.
Yeah.
So it's a pointer only. Yeah. But there's a difference between being conscious of all the things that we're conscious of throughout the course of the day and just being conscious of or aware of consciousness only. Only. Do you understand?
No.
Yeah. Book a session.
So like sitting.
You mean when you say conscience means to about the five senses?
No, consciousness. Nothing to do with the five senses.
Yeah,
Nothing.
but if you are not conscient, you don't know the senses, no? So
Sure, but I'm not talking about the five senses.
Okay.
That's the difference. I'm not talking about seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, or smelling.
Okay.
I'm not talking about those things. Yeah.
But what about?
Are you conscious right now?
I am aware.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
I don't know what means conscience.
Okay, are you aware right now? What I mean by
Yeah.
Good. And you answered.
Honest, yeah.
And you answered, yes, I'm aware. Yeah. Consciousness and awareness are the exact same thing. They're not two. They're not two. That's why I said. That's why I said the instruction sounds dualistic. Be aware of being conscious.
Yeah.
But the reason for the instruction is to try and prevent a person or one from being conscious of a myriad of things.
Yeah.
Just being conscious of consciousness itself or aware of consciousness itself only. It's a pointer. Purely a pointer.
Yeah.
It feels like this.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. As a pointer, I separate the two words, awareness and consciousness. As a pointer, I separate them out, but only as a pointer. The truth is, there isn't consciousness and awareness.
No, no.
Good. There is just whatever name you want to give it. Now, let's not give it a name. You understand? And it's one, it's not two. But we give it names like consciousness. We give it names like awareness.
Well, usually consciousness is used when awareness meets an object, yeah? When the mind...
Yeah, that's
yeah?
being, yeah, but that's
so
being...
that is conscious, but aware,
that's being
you don't need
conscious.
to... Yeah.
What you're describing is being conscious of.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
I'm talking about a step back from that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, conscious of requires the mind and the senses and consciousness to be conscious of. Yeah. And what I'm talking about is being aware of consciousness only. Only.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's I can't do it now, but I can take you through a process to get you to understand what I'm actually saying. Yeah. Because it is slightly different to what you may have heard before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll acknowledge that. But I also want to acknowledge that what I'm saying is a pointer.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't take it as fact, because there isn't awareness and consciousness.
Yeah,
There's not. There's not. Yeah.
Anyway, both of them are not permanent, so.
You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Just because you can't recall in deep sleep doesn't mean that consciousness isn't there.
I cannot talk about what I don't know.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yet, if somebody calls out your name when you're in deep sleep, totally no dreaming, nothing happening, somebody calls out your name, you wake and respond. What is it that's waking and responding if not consciousness? What's responding?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
This is new for me. I used to work with meditation and it's the senses a lot.
I know.
Yeah,
but by doing that, we remain in a state of being conscious of.
Well,
it can't be any other way.
Well, yeah, you are right. But after you move your attention from the thoughts in the body, in the senses, then you can find what is sensing. Yeah, because it's not the body. It's
hold on. Even the language, hold on. The language that's being used. Who would find it?
Sorry?
Who would find it? Who's going to find it?
Yeah, I don't know.
See, it's two. What is going to find it? It's two.
Well, the idea is to move attention from the thought,
Yeah, but we can have a discussion about that.
You change a carrot with another. I mean, carrot means the thoughts from the thoughts to senses, but at least you give a break to the mind.
I'll grant that.
Yeah.
I'll grant that, but that's all I'll grant. That's it. Yeah, because what you're describing is, and I'm very aware of it, still keeps a person stuck in being conscious of.
Yeah.
And that's not the way out. Is consciousness only, not being conscious of. It's.
So would it be fair to say that attention goes to aliveness? Like, I know that's still a word and there's still a description there, but
it does, but if we could say that, when it does, the seeming attention that's going to aliveness collapses in on aliveness itself. because even the language is dualistic. Can you hear it?
Mhm.
Anya? The
Mhm.
attention goes to aliveness.
Right.
Can you hear the, yeah?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we could say yes, and it's a, that's why I keep saying this is a pointer. Even
Right.
being aware of consciousness is a
Right.
pointer. I'm trying to get you to recognize something.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just conscious. It's just conscious, whatever's happening. It's like there's no division. It's just
It's a state of being no longer conscious of.
right. There's no this or that,
That would be conscious of.
right.
They'd be
Attention
conscious of
going
this or
here.
conscious of that or conscious of,
Right.
that's conscious of.
Right. Just kind of like on, like when you say on.
Yeah. You know, yeah. Yeah. It's just, you could say, yeah, attention shifts from thoughts, yeah, which creates the seeming conscious of, yeah,
Mm.
shifts from that and turns around on itself.
Mhm.
Not on
So is
something
that
else, not on something else. Not, it's
right?
not like the attention is now going to shift to, I don't know, the aliveness, or the attention's going to shift to consciousness, or the attention's going to shift to awareness. That's not true, even though that's the pointer I'm giving you.
So
It's
this is
not,
a pointer. What's this? Like, what's this? Is that the pointer?
yeah. Yeah. But if you're fully aware of this, the what won't need to come up.
Hmm.
And let me state, you can't be aware of it because you are
Are
it.
it?
So even all of these instructions, all of the non-dual instructions, all of the non-dual language, it's all about conscious of.
Hmm.
It's all of the language is dualistic.
Right.
All of it. Yeah.
So when there's this statement that gets said, just this, that's kind of
It's pretty damn close though. Still not correct,
okay.
because you could ask the question, just what? So even just this, there's still a subtle two in it.
Right. Because what's not this, right? It's like, well,
Yeah.
right. So it would be like,
That's why they say the greatest teaching is silence. Would be to say nothing, because that would then be the truth. However, it's pretty hard to sit there and say nothing. People are all caught in, silence can be a very, very powerful way of spending time with, say, a student. Very, very, very powerful. But the student's got to be ready for that. At point sitting there in silence, if the student's going, yeah, but this is doing my fucking head in. I don't know what I'm doing. And you got to talk them through their me, the illusion of a me. That's got to be seen. That must be seen.
right, because there
Otherwise,
can still be a belief in a me sitting in silence,
correct.
practicing silence.
Which is what I was just saying to V. Yeah. Yeah. Or what I was implying. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Because I've been at those silent meditation retreats. I've been in like 2 weeks of silence, and it was like, oof, the thoughts were just, and then there was a belief in a me that was sitting and meditating and being silent. And I mean, it was powerful, but there was still a belief in a me. Yeah. So
all that, you know, the meditation, you know, yeah, it has a place, no doubt. Yeah. But, you know, shift attention away from the thoughts. Or, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good. But rarely, and I mean rarely, have I heard people that are taking students through meditation, rarely have I heard them say, meditate on the meditator. Who the fuck is sitting there believing they're meditating to reach some goal or to achieve something? In other words, is there a me there? You better check. You know?
or is there a belief in a me there? Yeah.
No doubt there is. If they're sitting there meditating, there's absolutely a me there. A belief in me. Absolutely. Because people don't meditate for nothing. There's a goal. There's a damn goal. Okay, what's the goal? Well, I want to, whatever it is, right? I want to, whatever. There's a goal.
Well, and it feels like that with satsang too, which like it needs to be seen that like this kind of quiet little like me, supposed me in the background that's like, I want to go to satsang because I want to awaken, and I, you know, that kind of belief.
That's right. That's why I keep trying to dispute that by saying, hey, there's no me there. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Now come to see there's no me there. Come to fully see that. Otherwise, it'll be a me.
Yeah.
Which is an illusion, chasing an illusion.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
the mind fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, like when you really sit with this and study this and look at it and start really inquiring, it doesn't make any sense at all that there's a me here. Makes no sense. Not even logical. Far from factual. Clearly not logical at all.
Right.
And certainly not truthful.
Which is wild that it maintains, because it's like, if it's not factual and it's such an illusion, like the power of belief that it goes beyond logic to sustain itself as a reality is insane.
I know. That's what I know. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's damn well amazing. Incredible. That's why it's not a mistake, by the way. It's not a mistake. None of this is a mistake. Has to be this way, by the way.
Yeah.
Can't not but be this way.
Right. So there's nothing wrong happening. It's not a mistake.
No.
That whole narrative is.
No, nothing wrong at all. It's all perfect, actually. Including the little old parent me's. That's all perfect as well. You know, if non-dual is true, then there is only one. And that one is responsible for seemingly all. And I say seemingly because the all is an illusion. There is only one.
So then the all must be wanting this apparent illusion, right?
Yep.
Like,
and also wanting to awaken, apparently here.
Right.
Right there.
Yeah.
Because there's no me there doing shit, diddly squat. Yet there's a life being lived, there's thoughts happening and feelings happening. and you happen to be on this path. Like my teacher, Bob, said to me time and time again, Terry, don't worry. You haven't been brought this far for nothing. It's not for no reason that you've been brought this far. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like going fucking crazy here with trying
Yeah.
to get my head around
Well,
this, understand this,
it helps it when it makes it a little less serious. You know what I mean? Like this, like
Yeah.
serious, like path and awakening.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's just
another life. This is just another pulse of life.
yeah.
That's all. Along with the myriad of everything else that's happening. It's
Like whether it happens or not, or whatever happens, like whether it doesn't actually matter.
correct. That's yeah, swallow that.
Okay.
That's a large hunk of truth to swallow, but it's true.
Right.
Doesn't matter. Now what matters?
Right.
Like if that doesn't matter, now what matters?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're okay.
Yeah.
You're okay. I don't give a shit how awake apparently one is. Yeah. Shit is still going to happen in your life. Sorry about that.
Yeah, but not suffering. Yeah. It's different.
There is.
It is.
Yeah.
Shit is the beauty of this life, but
That's just the dualistic reality of it,
yeah.
And
But
you cannot have one without the other. You can't have one without the other. You can't have non-dual without dual.
Yeah.
And you cannot have dual without non-dual. You can't. It's not possible.
So it's not like duality just kind of melts away and never shows its face again. It's still there in the background.
Yeah, well, non-dual reveals itself. And then and the dualistic process still goes on. That's why I keep saying, I hate saying it like this, but I'll say it like this for the sake of the communication. The only difference between someone who's, I'm going to say apparently woke, because there's no such thing, right? Apparently woke, and somebody who's apparently not woke, and both I'm saying apparently, because there's no such thing, yeah? The two ways I could couch that, yeah? The person who is apparently not woke only knows duality. No experience, no understanding, no nothing of non-dual.
Correct.
The person that's woke knows non-dual and duality, and can live in this world
Right. Which is like Jesus said, right? Like be in the world, but not of it, or something like that.
Yeah, but both happen in this dream. So no, this is the funny thing.
Yeah, but the irony there is,
Yeah.
There's 8 billion different dreams going on the planet right now. 8 billion different dreams. Yeah. And with those dreams, there's an agreed upon reality.
Yeah.
It's only an agreed upon reality, and because we all agree upon it, we'll go, okay, well, this is reality, whatever that is that we're agreeing upon, But the other, and sometimes what I say, the only difference between you think I'm woke, yeah, and you think you're not woke. And I say, the only difference between you and I is you think there's a difference. That's the only difference. There is no difference. None. It's imagined. The difference is only imagined. It's not real. Why would I be sitting here, spending my time talking to a me? Why would I do that when there's not one?
Compassion.
Pardon? Compassion?
Compassion.
No, there isn't. No, I'm not going to have compassion for something that doesn't exist. That would make me insane. For Christ's sake. No, not compassion.
We exist, but in the dream, yeah? And you know that.
Yeah, but it's a dream. That's why it's called a dream. There is no existence in the dream.
Yeah.
It's imagined, created by thoughts, created by mind, created by imagination.
Yeah.
Boom. You know, we can't say, look, do you know how insane it is for us to say, on one hand, yeah, I get there's no me. I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm still kind of here, and I'm still being affected by my thoughts, and I'm still being affected by this, and I'm still trying to get this, or I'm still trying to understand this, but I know there's no me. That's insane. No, you don't know there's no me. Stop saying that. It's better to say, yes, it still feels like there's a me here. Now let's deal with that. Deal with it. If it feels like there's a me here, then we deal with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Pull that to pieces, yeah?
Correct.
And shine the light of truth on that. There's either one there or there's not. Let's go looking for it. Yeah, let's see what we can discover, you know. And then eventually you just do absolutely see there's not.
Yeah, and then
That's the awakening, by the way. Right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
There's your awakening.
Yeah.
You awaken to the truth. Holy shit. That I thought I was, I'm not. Isn't, wasn't. That's the
So
awakening.
keep focusing on the me that's not, keep seeing the me that's not there until that's fully realized, and then focus on, I mean, I should say focus on, but then
Pretty much.
consciousness just kind of,
Pretty
right.
much.
But don't go looking for consciousness when there's still a belief of a me, right?
Right. Yeah. But start to, if you can, start to have little laughs at what this is saying.
Yeah, the laughs are key.
You've got to stop taking it so seriously.
I know, I do. It just it gets so serious, like, you know.
I know.
Yeah.
And sometimes it would seem, no matter how hard we try, we're in a position where we seem to be taking it seriously. Okay.
Yeah.
That's just them.
Yeah.
It's just them. All right. Let it go, move on.
Yeah.
And then there'll be other moments or other opportunities, you know. It's try, look, where most people get stuck is they continue focusing on the mind.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
They just get stuck there. Yeah.
Totally. And I've been there.
Yeah, me too. That's why I'm saying, yeah, if you can start to have a little bit of a laugh at it, stop taking it so seriously.
Right.
Like really, stop taking it so seriously and start to inquire into the fact that you are conscious. What's this? Because you'll stay stuck looking at the mind, or saying, oh, I'm not that, not this, I'm not. But that all the intention is constant. See, that way you're in a constant state of being conscious of.
Right.
That's the duality.
Right.
See that. That's what creates the seeming duality, when we're conscious of.
Right. Well, it seems like that happens naturally once that, like, even in the shower, like the thoughts, it's just these thoughts, leaving the thoughts. And it was like, all of a sudden it's like, oh, like, what's this? Like, it just kind of happens.
Yeah. Now you know.
Together.
Good. Now you know. Now you know what's happening.
Right.
Now you're starting to get a grasp and understanding of the conscious of.
Right.
Yeah, which is what creates the duality. Yeah. Now all you got to do, if you haven't already, is come to understand that is conscious of is not the me character. What you are conscious of is the construction of the me character via thoughts. That you are conscious of. You're conscious of your thoughts all day long. You're conscious of your me being created by thoughts all day long. The mistake we make is we believe that this that is conscious of the thoughts is the me. How
Right.
can it be? You're conscious of the me being
Can't,
created.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's just, after all, there's just, if you understand that consciousness of
Right.
thoughts creates the duality, and consciousness of thoughts creates this idea of being conscious of. And where you want to go is away from being conscious of to just consciousness.
Right. Which is why you can't be conscious of
It.
consciousness, because
You are
you
it.
are that.
Good.
You
Good.
can't.
But the pointer is that I'm giving you is be aware of being conscious. I'm just pointing to the fact that you are already conscious.
Right.
Go there. You don't even have to go there.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous when I hear myself say to you, go there.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
absurd instruction.
Right. It's like here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's important to understand the mechanism of duality. Conscious of. In the absence of mind, you can't be conscious of.
Mm-hmm.
In the absence of thoughts, you can't be conscious of. There is only consciousness.
Right. It's all one.
Yep.
Thanks, Terry.
Yeah, but if I look around, yeah, I don't use thoughts, I don't put labels, but I feel that I'm conscious of what I see, yeah?
Yeah. Conscious
I
of
don't
what?
use,
You are conscious of what?
I have no answer because I don't,
But you feel that you are conscious of. Conscious of what? Conscious of. You don't even have to identify what.
yeah,
We're in a state of being conscious of. What about consciousness itself? Forget the of.
yeah.
It's this. The ness. That's why I use the pointer. Yeah.
Mm.
Try and start being aware of consciousness only. Only. And you are conscious. How hard can it be?
Yeah.
Really? It's just that what happens is we get caught up in being conscious of mind.
Yeah.
You know, or conscious of a laptop or a tree or a table or food or conscious.
It's like being conscious of seeing, not what is seen.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Of seeing, not of what
Nice.
is seen. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. The seeing
Yeah.
doesn't identify what's being seen.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
Seeing says not. Seeing is non-dual.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Got to get this. Seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling
Touching.
are
Yeah.
all non-dual.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
None of those five senses says anything about anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing. Until the sixth one steps in and says, oh, yeah, I see a table.
Yeah.
But the seeing doesn't say that. I hear a bell, but the hearing doesn't say that.
Yeah.
So in the absence of the thoughts about the seeing or about the hearing, now what's happening?
Hmm.
Yeah. In this way, I was using senses, just seeing, just hearing, but not what I see.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Would it be possible to get this recording, Terry?
Yeah, sure. I'll send it to
Yeah,
you.
this was.
Yeah.
But anyway, you was right. As long as I'm me here.
Yeah. And
It's better to deconstruct the me, and
yeah.
then
Yeah.
the seeing will come natural. Yeah. So how can I say?
Yep.
It's not like a lesson. You learn a lesson, you know.
Otherwise, the me goes
Yeah.
looking for what it's not.
Exactly. Yeah. This is the
Right.
problem. Yeah.
And it can stay stuck on that path for
Still there.
Yeah.
years and years. It can stay stuck on that path, and that's
Really. I saw that it's only me.
no.
I try everything,
I know.
but I'm not good at meditation anyway.
Yeah.
And the inquiry, who I am. Okay, good. Done.
All right.
Next. What's
Yeah.
next?
Yeah. I get it.